Hello again, my algebra students, and welcome to your 9-7 video. This is a continuation from 9-1. Now we are going to solve systems of linear and quadratic equations. So way back when, topic 4, we solved systems. So these systems were two lines, they crossed, and we looked for the point x, y where they cross. Well, now we're going to do linear, and quadratic equations. So the typical situation is going to be the following, right? You're going to have a parabola, which is a U shape, and you're going to have a line going through it like this, boom. And we're looking for the 2 points of intersection. And those would be the solution points, right? So again, this is the gist of this entire lesson. So again, it is, again, a very Desmos-friendly lesson. So that's a great thing. Okay. So it says, what are the solutions of a linear quadratic system of equations related to the solutions of a quadratic equation? So again, I'm not too concerned with this. I just wanted to kind of show you the breakdown of everything. So here is what your system will typically look like. So one will be a linear equation, one will be a quadratic, right? So you can have 3 types of situations. You can intersect at 0, 1, or 2 points. So again, the 2 solutions case is the one that you see the most, okay? But there are sometimes the 1 solution where the line kind of just grazes the parabola, and sometimes it's hard to see, so you really got to zoom in Desmos. And then there's the no solution cases where they don't touch, okay? So kind of similar to being parallel, but again, they're not parallel, they just don't touch. Okay, so let's take a look at some of these problems. Okay, so it says, how can you use graphs to find the solutions of the equation 5 minus x squared equals x plus 3? So you're saying to yourself, Ms. Chappell, you said system. This is only one equation. Well, here's what we're going to do, right? So instead of, what we would do is move everything to one side, set it equal to 0. What we're going to do is we're going to split this. We're going to create a system. So we're going to create the system. And this system is going to involve 2 equations. Y equals the left side of my equation and y equals the right side of my equation. So up here, this is my left side, this is my right side. So my 2 equations will be y equals 5 minus x squared, and the other one will be y equals x plus 3. This is the quadratic, this is the linear. Now, I do want to mention, right, that this original equation had no y. So when they want the solutions, right, when we find the points where these 2 graphs cross, we don't care about the y. We only care about the x's in a problem like this, where y wasn't mentioned at all. Okay? So again, notice I gave you the same kind of like generic axes. So when you graph this in Desmos, I just want a nice kind of graph with the points of intersection labeled very explicitly, right? So I know what you're doing. So 5 minus x squared and x plus 3. Okay, so let's go to Desmos and do that. Okay, so Desmos, I'm there. Zoom out 1. So y equals 5 minus x squared and y equals x plus 3. Okay, let me just double check. Yes. So again, if you would be so kind as to graph this. Now, what you can do is you can, I don't care how you want to graph it in terms of the points you use, right? So here's my graph they give me. So if you want to use the 2 points that the intersection happens, that you can do that. If you want to use different points, you can do that as well, right? So again, to graph, I might use different points, but then I'll label the points of intersection. So to graph the parabola, I'll use the vertex, which looks like it's up here. I'll use this point there and that point there, and there's my parabola. Notice it's opening down because if you look at the x squared, it's negative. And now for the x, the y equals x plus 3. So let's do it in green. So I'll go over here just a smidge, and then I'll use this y-intercept, and there is the graph in green. And now here is where I need you nice and clearly to label those 2 points of intersection. I will click on the graph to get negative 2, 1 and 1, 4. So my 2 points of intersection are negative 2, 1 and 1, 4. And again, your answer is not those points. The answers are just the x values. So my answers are x equals negative 2 and x equals 1. Those would be the solutions to this quadratic equation. Okay, so that was not technically a system, but we used the system to solve it. Now, let's go look at a system. Okay, so what are the solutions of the system of equations? So notice here, there's your full-blown two equations, right? Y equals x squared minus 6x plus 8, and y equals 2x minus 4. So again, no need to split it up. It already says y equals, so we're going to graph this, and we actually want the points of intersection. We want the 2 or 1 or 0 points of intersection. All right, so let's go into Desmos, and let's graph away. Okay, so y equals x squared minus 6x plus 8. Let me double check to make sure that was correct. Very good. And then y equals 2x minus 4. Let me double check. And good, that was correct. And again, I'm going to graph this on the set of axes that I provided you. So there's your generic set of axes. Again, let's do the parabola. Let's do the parabola in red because they have it in red. So I apologize. Let me do this in purple then. So there's the coordinate plane in purple. I'm surprised I don't have black as one of my colors. I don't know. Okay, so let's do this in red. Okay, so I'm going to use the vertex, which is like right here. I'll use this x-intercept and this x-intercept, so they're kind of really close together. So something like this. Sure. And then my line, I'll do it in blue. Again, I'll use this point down here. I'll use the x-intercept, which is actually one of the points of intersection, and I'll kind of draw it. I might have messed up a little bit. Okay, sort of like that, right? Again, I'm just making it look okay. And I'm going to mark the 2 points of intersection. So again, you just have to click on the graph to find those 2 points. So that would be 2, 0 and 6, 8. So on my graph, I'm going to label the points of intersection as 2, 0 and 6, 8. Right? Only label those points, right? Don't label any other points but the points of intersection. So those are actually my answers. My answers are the points. So 2, 0 and 6, 8. Okay. So there's the section, right? So that's 9, 7. Again, all Desmos. We just want you to sketch graphs and go from there. All right. Okay. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in class.